I'm Vicki Whitaker. I am holding a painting that I'm excited to talk to you about today. I have worked with the owner for the last 5 years to try to help him find a great value for this and maybe even find the origin of this painting. I work in teaching entrepreneurship and work with also high school students and teaching them about e-commerce, so he knew that I had a great background for doing the research. His wife, who had passed away 6-7 years ago, had come across this painting near Chicago area at a flea market, and he believed that she paid approximately $15 for the painting. It has so many wonderful markings on it that I think can make this piece possibly an original Toulouse-Lautrec. Through the research and the work that I had done the last 5 years, I had worked with many professionals to help find the value of this piece. I have worked with Mr. Chad Lage, who is an antique appraiser and has done some work with the Antique Roadshow. Mrs. Florence Coleman, she's Associate Curator of French Paintings with the National Gallery of Art. And most importantly, I worked with the Museum of Albi, the Lautrec Evaluation Committee, who is also known as the Museum of Toulouse-Lautrec. There are French translators that have helped me along the way as well, do all the translations so that we could have some important conversations back and forth over these last 5 years. The painting, in speculation, is a smaller version than the original masterpiece. In fact, it measures 10.6 inches by 8.4 inches. It is on a canvas or a linen forum or medium, which is a little bit uncommon, I understand. It is not an oil paint either, and so we're not exactly sure what was used, but we did realize it wasn't oil. It's got more of a consistency of a thick crayon, even possibly. However, it couldn't have been a crayon. It had to be something that was a little bit more easily transferred, basically. There is a stamp on several markings on this painting that make it quite unique. The one that fascinates me the most is the sticker on the top that does appear that this piece was on display in some museum along its time. And on the top it says the name of the painting, which is The Sleepers. It says the artist's name, Toulouse-Lautrec. It has a number of 451 here, as if it was cataloged in or inventoried. So, quite interesting as well. It did mention his birth and death date, which I believe reads at 1861 to 1901. That's interesting. There's a stamp on the frame down below that says Made in England, and there is also a custom stamp here. It's a very old frame. Appears to be a Spanish design from what I've been told. And often the artist did paint the frame to match the painting. So I wanted to show the frame. It's very old, obviously. Some of the commentary that I've gotten along the way is that because the frame was nailed in the corners, it makes it of less value, but many times these old frames were painted to actually match the masterpiece. So it's definitely very noticeable that the frame itself was painted to match the painting. Very unique piece. So there is the signature on the painting, which in the photography that you've received you should see, but the photography of the actual artist's signature does look authentic to ways that he did sign paintings. So another reason to believe it could be an original Toulouse-Lautrec. There are a total of 2 custom stamps on the rear frame, and the question is whether the piece is an original Toulouse-Lautrec or a copy made by another artist. The size was not registered, which makes it nearly impossible to authenticate according to all my research. Either way, it is worth thousands or even millions of dollars. If it's a reproduction, I've been given values of what it could be worth as just a reproduction piece by another artist. Still could be worth every bit of $25,000 to $35,000. But if it could be an original Toulouse-Lautrec and more research could be done, it could be worth millions. Thank you.